Episode 3. An unexpected invitation from the Ruthless Mafia. Another exotic car pulled up. Audrey stood motionless as the tinted window slid down with smooth, deliberate precision. The movement alone carried authority. She didn't step back. She didn't breathe. The interior light flicked on. Two broad-shouldered men in black suits stared at her. Their faces were hard, unreadable, men accustomed to obedience. "Hey, Audrey." The sound of her name from a stranger's mouth made her pulse spike. How did he know her name? A short, humorless laugh escaped the man in the passenger seat. "You look scared." The other man chuckled under his breath. "You shouldn't be," the passenger continued calmly. "We're just messengers sent by Leslie Russell." The name struck her like cold steel. Leslie Russell, the most feared man in the city, a man whose anger was whispered about, a man whose enemies rarely resurfaced. Why would someone like him remember her? Here, the man extended a small white envelope. "Take it, it's from him." "Am I in trouble?" Audrey asked, hiding the tremor in her voice. The man gave a careless shrug. "Depends." "On what?" Her stomach tightened. Still, she stepped forward and took the envelope. The moment her fingers brushed it, the tinted glass slid up. The SUV pulled away without hesitation, disappearing into the dim street. Efficient, controlled, final. Audrey tore the envelope open with trembling hands. "Hey, Audrey, we should sit somewhere and talk. Do you mind?" The handwriting was firm and slanted, each stroke deliberate. It didn't look rushed. He had written it himself. A strange heat stirred in her chest, half thrill, half dread. Why would a man like him want to talk to her? Unless this wasn't an invitation at all. Unless it was a command disguised as courtesy. She remembered that night clearly, how he had barked orders without raising his voice, how grown men obeyed him instantly, how his presence alone shifted the air in the room. There was nothing soft about Leslie Russell. Nothing safe. Her thoughts sharpened as realization dawned. The first exotic car, the lingering feeling of being watched. His men. He had been watching her. Her gaze dropped to the bottom of the note. "Hit me up ASAP if you're in. I'm expecting you." Expecting. Not hopping. Not asking. Expecting. A shiver crept down her spine. He had already decided she would say yes. That night, Audrey lay on the bare floor of her parents' room, the thin blanket pulled over her shoulders. Her parents were already asleep, occupying the entire bed as usual. The time read 1:30 a.m. Calling him would be reckless. Texting felt safer. She typed, "All right, I'm in." The reply came almost immediately. "A couple of my men will pick you up at 5:30 p.m. You live with your parents. That time works best." Her breath caught. He hadn't asked. He had chosen. And he knew she lived with her parents. Had he investigated her? Watched her house? The thought unsettled her far more than she wanted to admit. She stared at the screen, long after the room filled with her father's snores. This wasn't romance. This was power. And she had just stepped into its shadow. The next day passed in a blur. Excitement battled fear inside her. Every tick of the clock dragged her closer to 5:30. By 5 o'clock, anxiety had replaced fantasy. She stood before the cracked mirror leaning against the wall, holding the only gown she owned that looked remotely presentable, a faded blue dress, worn at the edges. In her hands, it suddenly felt inadequate. Leslie Russell moved in a world of tailored suits, luxury cars, and guarded doors. She stood barefoot on cracked tiles. "I can't wear this," she muttered under her breath. But she had nothing else. The clock struck 5. Her heart began to pound. Then, in the distance, an engine roared. And it did not sound like it planned to wait.